In the quantities, first we are going to discuss about the physical quantities. What are called physical quantities? The quantities which we can measure are called physical quantities. Which we can see and measure are called physical quantities. For example, physical quantities. Example, the quantities which we can measure are called physical quantities. Example, example for the physical quantities: length, breadth, height, length, breadth, height, speed. Length, breadth, height, time. Length, breadth, height, time, comma, weight. Weight. It is also called as mass, etc. Next, in the physical quantities, there are three types: independent physical quantities. Example, length, breadth, height, time. Measure the time. So these are the independent physical quantities. These are the independent. They do not depend upon the other quantities to find the length or breadth or height or time, whatever it is. The second one is derived physical quantities. Derived physical quantities. The derived physical quantities. What are called derived physical quantities? The quantities which are derived from the fundamental or supplementary quantities. So to find these derived quantities, we have to take the help of these fundamental quantities. For example, derived quantities will get with the help of independent quantities, which are fundamental physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities. So the derived quantities, to find the derived quantities, we must take the help of these fundamental quantities. For example, area. Can we measure the area directly with any measurement tape or weighing? So derived quantities, examples for derived quantities are area. To get the area, we'll take the help of the independent quantities, which means fundamental physical quantities, length and breadth. To find the volume, length into breadth into height. So we need three fundamental quantities to find the volume. And speed, distance by time. Distance by time. Here distance is nothing but length. The vehicle travels from one point to another. That is nothing but length. Length is considered as the distance. And time. Time also fundamental physical quantity. And the next one, mass, speed of the force. Force. How do we get the force? The quantity of force by multiplying the mass into area. Mass into acceleration. Sorry. So in the physical quantities, there are two types: fundamental quantities and derived quantities. Fundamental physical quantities are those are independent of the other physical quantities. Example: length, breadth, height, time, weight, or mass. Weight also called as a mass. So the derived physical quantities. Which are derived physical quantities? The derived quantities will get with the help of the fundamental physical quantities. So for example, area, volume, speed, force. To find the area, we need length and breadth, which are fundamental physical quantities. Volume, L into length into breadth into height. So speed, distance by time. Distance is nothing but length. So force, mass into acceleration. Third one is supplementary quantities. What are supplementary angles? The plane angle and solid angles are the example of supplementary quantities. Plane angle. In the circle, if you take one angle, the sector is the example of the plane angle, and the solid angle. If you take a sphere or any 3D object, if you take like this angle from the 3D objects, which means the object looking like this. So this is the example of solid angle.